day 115 for the vlog, and today started out fine. Did walk the dog, went to work, came back, walked the dog again, then did a workout. In my head I was thinking I could do it Friday, but then I know I have a training session tomorrow with my trainer, and they said that we're gonna do legs, so I figured if I do legs and I'm as sore as I am today with upper body, I'm probably gonna be that sore Friday for lower body, and then I'm gonna have to suffer through it, and then suffer through the 12-mile long run on Saturday. So I figured it's best to do the workout today, hopefully get through tomorrow's easy run, 8 miles, and then try to recover Friday with a 3 or 4 mile, and then jump back into the regular long run. But I switched up the workout as well. I did a 1.5 mile warm up, and then 4 by 800 meter. Gamora, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then did 4 by 800 meter. Stop. Hey, stop. Stop. Hi. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Hi. What are you doing? And did 4 by 800. And I just didn't want to do the quarter repeats, and I didn't want to do the ladder, the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I just didn't like the rest. I feel like at this point I should be progressing a little bit more, so either change the workout or shorten the recovery. And I tried to skip the recovery when I felt like my heart rate was down and I was ready to go, and you couldn't switch over. So I just said, you know what, just do this and then it's probably a minute 15 recovery. I was trying to mentally time it, but also just tell myself, relax, recover, you're okay. And you got one more to go, just think one more. And then did the 1.5 mile cool down. It was fine. Let's see, I'll check real quick. And yeah, it says 5.22 miles. I know it's gonna be off because it says 6:47 average pace. 35:22 is total time. But I know since I did the 1.5 miles and then paused it, did a light leg warm up, I didn't do any strides. It's gonna throw things off. I thought about doing 2, but I was like, no, don't add on too many miles right now. Need to get settled in with the workout tomorrow. I used to do about 5 or 6. It's like if I do the extra, it might be a little bit too much. So I did a 1.5 miles. The first mile was 7:48. The second mile shows 6:37. Third mile shows 5:48. Fourth mile 6:33. Fifth mile 7:01. So you can kind of tell that the middle miles 2, 3, and 4 had the influence of the 1/2 mile. And then just try to recover, a nice and easy run back. And it felt okay. The first 800, I tried to pace it out, so right when I got to 1.5 miles, I stopped. And stopped the watch, of course, and just drew a line in the sand on the canal. And then did a couple drills, going backwards the way I came, and then slowly made my way forward, did a jogging start, and then took off. And then right when it clicked over 2 miles, I stopped again. Unfortunately, I had to turn on the cement, so I just had to make a mental note where I was, and I did a pretty good job and tried to count out about 30 seconds down and then recover back and then start up where I ended. think it was like, it was fairly accurate. It was, so 1.5, then 2, I think 2.1, 2.01, and the way back the second time, it was, let's see, it was 3.2, so it was really close to half mile, close enough. And then the way back, I feel like the way back, the last one felt the best. It's always the last one that's easy to close. But that first one, you just don't. I didn't know mentally where I was, how I was feeling. I didn't know where to mark it. So I was like, just go, just run hard, just run hard. Just it's gonna be close to running that 3 minutes that you're used to running the ladder. You'll be fine. Go, 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 go. I had to play with the gears a little bit. I was like, oh, that's too much. Oh, it's not enough. You're settling in. Keep going. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But the probably 3 and 4 felt better than the first two, which is fine. I just gotta maybe switch up the workouts more. Add this one into the mix. But we'll see how tomorrow goes as well. And did 100 plus push-ups today, so that's 140 days now, which is crazy. That's crazy. Be here at 140 in a row, and I finished reading, which I'll get back to. But then also did, where are we at? Look at the board. 31 days of consecutive running. Trying to get to 37. Oh, and yeah, got to the new book today. This one, the David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. This is the one that got me excited about reading. So I knew when I started this was going to be in my list of books to first read. And I finished the one yesterday. There's still some, not acknowledgments, but references in the end, which kind of summarizes what they were looking for and the statistics. And I tried to read a little bit of it, but I think I let it go. Just the last chapter just seemed to have this story, and it ended. And instead of having like a summary of all the stories to wrap it up in a nutshell, it just seemed to end in one chapter. It seemed to have that one last story and end in the last section instead of it being two separate ones. So I don't know. I started out well, and then I just had a hard time. Probably the last chapter or two. Not a bad book, just kind of lost me with so many references and names, and might be able to put pictures to names. And anyways, not bad, just wasn't quite there for me. But this one already, I already jumped into it. I mean, it's just the acknowledgments, which is already great. And to kind of give you a little summary of why it sounds good, if you don't remember David Goggins, if you've never heard of him, he's this, I guess, Marine, but he also does a bunch of ultra running stuff. He just believes you should constantly be testing, challenging your body. And he says, let's see, no matter who you are, who your parents are or were, where you live, what you're doing for a living, how much money you have, you're probably living about 40% of your true capacity. It's a shame. We all have potential to be so much more. In the next little section, he goes on to saying he's doing a speech at the Institute of Technology, and there's a bunch of, let's see, university lecture. He said he was a student, he barely graduated high school, and they wanted him to do his presentation on, where'd it go? I thought I had it on mental toughness. And this MIT professor got up before and he said there's genetic limitations, or what Goggins refers to as hard ceilings. As in, and this is a quote, there are some things we just can't do no matter how mentally tough we are. We hit that genetic ceiling, he said, mental toughness doesn't enter the equation. He goes on, said everyone in the ceremony at the room seemed to believe this, take it in, and believe the professor. Someone asked him, saw his face and looked at him, he said, maybe for a majority of people, but it's not 100% true. There's always, quote, there will always be the 1% of us who are willing to put in the work to defy the odds. And it skips a little section. This is where he's quoting again. He says, Heraclitus, a philosopher born in the Persian Empire back in the 15th century BC, had it right when he wrote about men on the battlefield. Out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't even be there, 80 are targets, 9 are the real fighters, and they're lucky to have them, but the one is the warrior. And so just to read that in the intro is just lets you kind of know where the book's going to be headed, and just his mental preparedness to push himself and go outside those what we call limits. And just I don't know, I'm really taken back by it already. I'm glad this book popped out to me. I'm ready to read more. So, with that said, run your life with health and happiness. Have a good night.